guys, welcome back to POV by byRaey&mitchy.
Of course, we missed you guys. Did you miss us? Tell us in the comment section below.
I'm Mitchy.
I'm Rachel.
Yeah. So today we are going to be discussing about a very, very, very interesting topic. Yeah.
Of course.
What's the topic?
Adulting.
Adulting. If you're in your 20s, in your 30s, hapo, you really are going to understand what we are talking about. Yeah. So adulting. Adulting. So today we are going to be discussing about adulting. Yeah. You know that most of us are in this stage. Most of us are in the stage where we are young adults. Okay, we are not really there yet. We are not really adults yet. But what does it mean to be a young adult?
It's the transition from being a young dependent individual to being is it not young, but anyway, to being independent, right?
Yeah. That transition from now being dependent on your parent, being dependent on people around you, to now being by yourself in so many ways, in so many departments of your life, like career-wise, financially. There was somewhere I went to and I had somebody complaining, someone that is just of our age, in their young 20s, and they were complaining about the pressure that has come with adulting, that their parents are now asking them for money.
But that's what adulthood is all about.
Like, I mean, we were not prepared for this. You know, it just happened that one day you are not being sent for money. You are not being sent for pocket money. And now you are the one who's being asked for. There was not even a conversation whereby, you know, there are some people who have conversations with their kids concerning adulting.
Yeah.
Like, when you reach 21, you're now going to be independent. You're not going to move out of my house. But in our case,
Gafla bin vu. All of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're on your own. How did this happen for you?
As for me, I have a really supportive family.
Yeah.
My mom is really supportive, so I can't complain as much because in each and every step she was there with me, guiding me and helping me through as I navigate this thing called life. So I'm really grateful to my mom because honestly, she's been my shoulder to lean on.
Yeah.
And how was it for you?
For me, the transitioning, it happened, I think immediately I finished even before I finished my campus. I think the good thing, I got to prepare myself, let's say mentally. You remember there was a time I started a business, right? During COVID-19, that's when I started the transition slowly by myself. Of course, I also have supportive parents. I won't say anyway, supportive parents and a supportive sister. But for me, I started transitioning slowly, bit by bit, whereby I started my own business and started depending on myself for some things like that, until it reached a point where I wasn't asking for money from anyone. But of course, I have to ask for my sister because I didn't tell her to be the older sister. I did not tell her. But yeah, it reached a point where I could depend on myself fully for now, everything.
Well, I think 2020 was really an eye-opener for us.
Yeah.
Because most of us became independent. Like, your mind just opened up to business ideas and you're like, you know what? Instead of just staying at home being idle, let me do something. In as much as it was really challenging, but I think it was really essential. It was an essential part of our growing up.
Yeah. Let's talk about 2020, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this year. This year came with so much, but I feel like we had a lot in it to learn.
Yeah.
We had a lot of growing up to do from this year 2020. Yeah. And I was watching a certain video where I learned that even the world of influencers started in 2020. It grew, like it really went up in that year. like 2020, in as much as it was a year of, in as much as it was a year where there was a lot of crisis, there was a lot of loss. People lost their businesses because now people had to go home and stay home. Lockdown. Who could have ever imagined that airplanes were like airplanes would be in a lockdown?
Imagine
that people would not travel from one place to another, even from one county to another county.
And just imagine you are at a hotel. It's not that you're in another country. You're in your own country, but you have to stay in a hotel just because of the, what was it called?
The lockdown.
Yeah, the period where you have to stay at home, locking yourself up, not interacting with other people.
Yeah, because maybe you are coming from another country, or because you have signs of COVID. What was it called? I think it had a certain name. Quarantine.
Yeah, that
you are in quarantine. I'm telling you, we saw things that we have never seen. Things that we did not imagine could have happened, really happened in this year. But in as much as these things happened, bodies were, people were dying every day.
In Italy, the story in Italy, where a lot of people died because they said it's because those people have, the most of the population in Italy, it was those of, the elderly. Yeah, the elderly. So most of them, they were just dying.
People were dropping dead. Today you hear someone has corona. Tomorrow
they are no longer there.
Yeah, like when you just hear someone has corona, you just know that's it. Especially when they have underlying conditions or when they are old. So this year had a lot.
Imagine there was someone telling me there was never corona.
There was never wow.
There is never.
Then what was there?
I don't know.
What was there? Because okay, no one really understands where did it go.
Okay, where did it go?
Sometimes I feel like it was something political. Sometimes I feel like there was a tycoon somewhere who just felt like releasing this corona, and then it had a drug, of course. It had a drug whereby it was created in a lab with the drug, and then the drug is released way after. Now the vaccine would have been the cure for COVID, but now they released it after doing whatever they wanted to do with this disease.
So they wanted to reduce the population of the world.
I don't really know what their goal was.
What was their aim?
I don't know. But the point is, this year had a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
Like, you really, you are forced. It's like God wanted us to know that anything could happen, and now you have to think out of the box.
True.
Like, we were forced to really sit down and think out of the box.
True.
Because there's nothing you can really do. So many things were born during this year, and most of these things are online based.
Yeah.
Now people started to embrace online. Churches, preachers who are condemning Facebook and saying that it's for Illuminati. 60. They now started to embrace it and to say that now Facebook is good. Now the word can be preached to the whole world and whatnot. But I feel like it was a year for us to just learn, to know that anything is possible, to acknowledge what we have, to acknowledge our families. By the way, it had reached a point where people didn't have time for family, right?
Yeah.
People didn't really have time to stay at home. People were out there
chasing the bag.
Yeah, chasing the bag. But now we had to sit down and just think.
As a family.
Yeah.
I never thought that we would be able to go outside. Like, things they were going to go back to normal. It never crossed my mind.
For real. Me, I knew like when our kids will be coming, or by that time I thought that the time we'll be having kids, their new normal was wearing masks. Actually, it was you remember the CS for health. What was his name? I think everyone knew his name by then, even kids. Right now it was just, but he would say the new normal. He would call it the new normal. I can't even believe we are here without a mask. I couldn't even believe that we would walk in town after the quarantine period without masks again. It was like a dream. So during this period, what personally I got out of it, if I may say, is my entrepreneurial skills. Like, I now thought, what can I do out of just being, but then I was in school, out of just being in school and my career, what else can I be able to do? So at this time we started selling, what are they called, rompers. Yeah, we started selling. No, I started it myself, and then after a while there's this friend of mine who came and told me, by the way, I have a connection. They also went home and they got some entrepreneurial skills during this time, during just the time when they are staying at home. They told me, by the way, I have a better place that we can be able to get this, and you give me a small percentage. And I said, why not? It's what I'm doing and it's costing me a bit more. So we can do this and the profit margin will be a bit bigger. Anyway, long story short, that's how I started my adulting journey. Wow. Started to sell rompers. Now I knew how to get a salary from profits. Do you know, like, you can have your own business, you are selling things, but you are still on salary. If you get 50 shillings, you pay yourself maybe 5%. 5 shillings. That is what adulting is all about, man. Like,
rewarding the efforts.
Yeah, you reward yourself, but now there's money for the business. There's the capital, of course, which you can't touch, and then there's the profit where you divide it into percentages. This is how I used to divide mine. Even now when I do business, I still divide it that way. I used to take tithe 10%, and then I do a salary, a certain percentage, a salary, and then savings, a certain percentage, and then other things, maybe expenses, another percentage. That's how I used to break down my profit. Remember, during that corona period, we were also not being sent for money by parents, especially because personally I wasn't in school. So I was at my sister's. So my mom knew I was sorted. And when I was there, my sister was very strict because there's no money. So you have to sort yourself out. You have to think out of the box. Yeah. And then after that, I did other businesses like selling jewelry and everything. But that was the foundation, my entrepreneurial foundation. That was where I started the transition into adulting. Now, after that, the amount or the percentage of dependency that I had started to drop, to reduce until now.
Wow.
Yeah. So how is this for you? Like, okay, there was that aspect for me of, like campus and now finishing campus. When I finished campus, dependency was cut fully. Like, pap.
What?
Yeah.
The moment you graduated, or the moment you completed?
The moment I finished campus. Okay. Now it was me. For me, I wasn't asked to start giving back to my parents. I just felt like it was
it's your responsibility.
It was my
now.
responsibility. Even if it's just 50 shillings, it's
you
now.
Have to.
Yeah, I have to do that. Yeah. So it came with so many pressures. I'm telling you.
But here we are.
Here we are. Glowing, happy, and in
God. The God.
Yeah, it has been God all through, by the way. We owe it to Him and Him alone.
Of course.
So we owe it all
to God.
To God, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us, how is it for you?
So, as I said earlier, my mom has been really instrumental. She's been really supportive throughout this journey. Mm-hmm. So adulting for me, it wasn't that tough per se, but it comes with a lot of pressure. The pressure that you have to be on your own feet, the pressure that you have to make the right decisions at the right time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you get, like you know that you have to make like you have to be intentional with each and every step you take.
You are making,
yeah. And it requires a lot. It's not easy. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Sometimes you have to, of course it comes with a lot of questioning because you're not sure. You've never gone this path. This is your first time doing it. And you're like, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? But anyway, with the right guidance, of course, with also asking God for help and everything, everything turns out to be great.
Yeah. I really like the part where you've said that you have to be intentional. So you can't just do things.
Yeah, you can't just do things like a baby.
Yeah, you can't just do things anymore. You can't just wake up and decide, you know what, today I'm not going to do it. You have to do it. You have to have that intention, right?
Yes.
I really like that part whereby you've said that. Maybe would you tell us some of the examples of the things that, let's say, adulting has forced you to be intentional about?
Finances. Well, as of finances, you can't just wake up and say, you know what, I'm craving this and this. I want this dress. I want these shoes. I'm just going to buy them right away. Right now and right away. I need it. I see it. I get it. No, it doesn't work like that.
You remember when we were in campus, we would just wake up and order KFC. Yeah?
No, that's not going to happen. Because you see, if you do these things, you overspend today, tomorrow, you're going to be like, okay, where am I going to get this money from?
Yeah.
You have to have a budget. I know not everyone has a budget, but as for me, I had a budget. Like, I never used to overspend so that I can be able to manage my finances efficiently and effectively. Yeah.
I think there's somewhere like you just reach and you feel like you are so constrained in adulting. I don't think it matters how much you are making, but during this transitioning, you know, you are used to spending without thinking about it, without really thinking about where is this money coming from. You know, when you're being sent money by your parents, you don't think about the sweat that was the work that was put in for that money to be earned. Yeah. So when you become an adult, I remember there are times my sister could tell me, one day you'll start earning and you will know the pain of that money that you are wasting. Now I really, really understand. I understand her point, because like, you really put in work to earn this much that you are earning. When it comes to spending it,
you are very careful.
Yeah, even just sending to someone, you feel like, oh my god,
this is my trend.
And then you send to someone and then they misuse. It's so, I mean, have you ever seen these people who ask for money so that they can go and buy alcohol?
Really?
They can use it on drugs. As in my home, in my Ushago is in English countryside.
Yeah, the countryside.
Yeah, here everyone has a countryside. You have to come from your Ushago to come to town.
Yeah.
There are these people, when you go to the village, let's say the village, from now you are maybe the place you're working in. When you go to the village, there are these people who are just there to ask you for money. Let me tell you, I cannot give them even 10 shilling. Why? Because they're going to use this money to buy alcohol. My hard-earned money
being spent on alcohol.
Yeah.
Can never be you.
Can never be me. So, adulting comes with a mix of things. Different things. We have finances. We have now social life.
Yeah.
Where you have to balance these things. For me, I really struggle because nowadays I'm rarely
free.
I'm rarely not really free. Even when I'm free, I feel like I just need to rest. I just need my space. I just need to be by myself. I rarely have that
energy.
Yeah, energy to go out. Not even just going out, even to talk to people on phone.
And
even to my family.
Even responding to messages, you're like, okay, exactly. I have seen it.
But now responding,
you reply in your head.
Yeah, exactly. You know, people used to talk about responding to messages in their head, and I used to be like, how is that?
Yeah, I was possible? Like, who does that?
Yeah.
But now I totally understand.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not going to judge you guys anymore.
You know, it takes so much energy. I think that's where that point of being intentional also comes in, whereby you are able to plan yourself and tell yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to work, I'm going to rest, but at this time I'm also going to create time to interact. Because if you're not careful, when you're transitioning to adulthood, you might find yourself alienated now from people. You might find yourself losing friends. That's why people say that they fall into depression. I fall into depression. I fell into depression. I lost my friends. I did what? I was stressed. You see, because adulting comes with a lot.
True.
It comes with a lot. Like, it just takes.
Taking and taking. It never gives.
Time takes. Finances, energy, friends takes. It's just there to take and take and take, and until you are like drained. You're
like, I don't have anything.
Yeah, you don't have anything else to offer.
Yeah, but in all this, we have to prioritize our tasks or what we want to do. You just set your priorities right, and I think you'll be on the right track. And also, you should have a balance.
Yeah,
like you should have a balance of this and this, because too much of something is poisonous.
True.
So you just see where, like, just find a balance. Yeah,
and also setting boundaries.
Yeah,
I love the point you've said about prioritizing. I think it's something I'm getting to learn also at my stage, at the level that I am. Prioritizing what really matters right now. Like, after that, you go to the next thing that matters after that. Yeah. So you do a thing at a time. You don't
take all everything at once.
Yeah. If you feel like you need a break, take that break. Yeah, but don't quit your job.
There was someone who was asked, how do you manage pressure? Like, how are you able to work under pressure? And they said they will be taking 5 minutes break after doing thorough work. So, like,
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. It's not a lot. Like, after sitting down for like 2 hours straight, not being disturbed and stuff, then she takes a 5 minutes break, stretches, and continues doing the work.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Have you ever reached a level whereby you feel like you just need to take a break?
Yeah.
I have to. Tell us about yours. Kindly.
Hey. I was at a very demanding job. I never used to have time to rest. I was like, I have to wake up in the morning, come back late. I didn't even have time to cook for myself. It was really draining, and I was like, this is enough. I can't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
And I just said, you know what?
We have to call it quits.
Yeah, we have to. But you can't just call it quits if you don't have a backup plan. It's good to have a backup plan.
That's a good point you're bringing up.
Yes, so
that anytime you want to take a break, or anytime you're making a decision, you need to look at it critically and have a plan. That's quite a good lesson.
Yes. So I already had a plan I already had a backup plan. So by the time I called it quits, I knew this is the next thing I'm going to do. So I rested, and it felt nice. At least I got my energy back, and I was happy again. Yeah.
There's this time at my job also. I think mostly this is about jobs, because jobs are demanding.
True.
You know, especially when you're at the entry level, like, it is really, really demanding. The jobs are up there. The job or the work is up there. The workload, it's up there, and the pay, God,
it's like this.
Have mercy. It's down there. You can see it from afar.
Or you can barely see it.
Yeah. Especially because I was working in I'm still working there, in a new institution. You know, there are no students. yet. Now you have to market this institution from scratch. But we really thank God that we have 100+ students right
that's
now.
nice.
Yeah, he has been faithful.
Wow.
Yeah, so but we are now at 100+ students.
Wow.
We really thank God that he has been faithful.
Yeah.
From zero. So at this level, you really have to do aggressive marketing. And at that time, you are not many of you, because the school is new. It can't afford to pay, I don't know, salespeople, influencers, I don't know, the manager, the what and what. So you really have to multitask. You have to be the accountant, you have to be the administrator, you have to be the whatever, everything. You have to be the influencer by yourself. Yeah. So I didn't find it hard during this first period, because it wasn't so much pressure. Okay, it was pressure, but it was not to the extent where I felt like I needed to have a break. Like, I really needed to have a break, because we also had holidays in between and everything. So it reached a point, that was in September, where we did a very aggressive marketing, and I was in charge of the admissions that time. And this is the time we got so many, like 80% of the students that we have, we got them during this time. So now I had to plan, I had to initiate, I had to assign the tasks, and also to create the teams to do these things. And it was really what? I could walk for like the whole day. I'm up and down, doing this and that, looking at this place, how is it? Going to the other place, checking, is everything running straight? Going to the other place, so that the logistics can be continuous. Also, at the same time, following up on those who are supposed to come, you see. So after this intake, I was really drained, and I needed a proper rest. But guess what?
What?
We meet and we decide that we are going to do another strategy. A similar strategy. Remember, this one has drained me that much.
Another one.
Now we have to do a similar one. I was so tired. I think that's why the second one was not as effective. Yeah, but it's not a bad thing. It's good to admit that I was really, and I had burnout at this time. Wow. So I used to feel like, by the way, it was just like I almost quit my job.
For real.
The mornings that I walked out of this house thinking of what I'm going to write in my resignation letter. Yeah, I almost quit my job because I was so tired. I was just thinking about sleeping, resting, taking a break, just to be myself again. Because during the whole day, you don't even see your phone. You have meetings in the evening, so you get home really late. You're tired, as you've said, you haven't cooked, you haven't done what. Now you have to wake up tomorrow again to go and do something else. Now there are students, there's not enough manpower. You have to do this and do that and do that again.
I feel you. Sometimes you're like, oh God, I just pray.
Yeah.
That this morning, like this.
I even thought that I would take I would go and look for a more junior position that doesn't have so much. For real. I considered that so many times. I just recently regained my energy. So
did you take the break eventually?
Not really.
You need one.
But I feel like I still need one. But now I had to change my mindset. I had to take time to think and tell myself that you can do this, you have to do this. Yeah.
But you should take a break.
I should take a break.
A 1 day leave or 2 days leave, you just sleep.
I think I'll do that tomorrow.
Tomorrow is a holiday, guys.
Tunaenda kupanda miti.
Yeah, we are planting trees. Unapandia miti ukiwa wapi?
Kwa ploti. Napanda miti kwa ploti ya wenyewe. Anyway, guys, Kenya. We have a holiday for just planting trees, guys.
Kenya for you.
We are blessed.
Yeah, for sure.
We are really
for sure.
So adulting adulting is really just a mix of everything.
Yeah.
Just juggling between this and that. Yeah. But we have to survive, and we're going to get a hang of it. Yeah.
Of course.
We know that it's just the transitioning phase, and it won't take long.
Yeah, we'll just get the
We're getting a hang of it.
Yeah.
So that was it on adulting, guys. Share your experiences on the comment section. Tuambie, how has it been for you? Imekuwaje? How has your adulting been? Your adulting journey been? What were the hardest moment that you faced? What were the coolest moments? Has it been just smooth for you? Has it been just a smooth transitioning, or has it been hard and tough and bumpy? Both are good. Yeah There's none which is better than the other. Both are good, because it's a new thing. No one has really experienced it, and in Africa we don't get to talk about it with our parents like out there, where people get to talk about it with their kids, and they tell them at 18 you'll have to move out and do this and do this and do that. Yeah
So thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you for liking, commenting. Continue subscribing to our channel. We are going to kill you with content, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, and
see you
soon.